Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and for whatever time you watch my video. Welcome to my blog again. This is Information Technology and Radiological Sciences under the subject for our professor, Mr. Merchard James Alonso, RRT, MSRT. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. And to my masterants, hello, everyone. This is a subject under MSRT 109, Information Management and Radiological Sciences. First, I'd like to define what is information sciences or what is RIS. All right. So as you can see, what is it? All right. Information technology under radiological sciences, it's all about, right. It is all about a system, an information system that record when the patient are scheduled, when they arrive, and when their examination become ready for the interpretation. And of course, when their reports are finalized and all the intermediate steps, workflow analysis may be used to identify bottlenecks in a system. So in this radiology reporting of information system, the rapid report turnover of the often cited metric for the quality, usually measuring the time and the exam completion to finalize the report. And of course, information management is a cycle of a process that support the organization learning activities. It is identifying the information needs, acquiring information, organizing and storing information, developing information products and services, distribution information, in using the information by my reference through 1995. That was my reference. Right in for information management, an effective and optimal use of this information in all organizations is never easy. And we as the future radiologic technology managers are not exempted as well. There are many systems to incorporate and complex organization with a cultural issue to address. Do further ado to utilize the information management effectively and efficiently, one must have the best people, colleagues that are innovative and accept the constant change, right? Sometimes, why do we need to know the information management? Someone that is willing to adopt the system and be familiar with avoid errors. Second is to think and to adopt one of the future manager because of a single information system can be the answer to all the problems that could arise. Hence, we should gather all information every single day, little by little, to create a concrete strategic plan and develop a better IM process or information management process. And of course, why do we need to study and to learn the information management or the radiological information system nowadays? Of course, as radiologic managers in the future, we are not exempted. And there are many systems incorporate and the complex organization with the cultural issue. So to utilize the IM, the informational management effectively and efficiently, one must have the best people, colleges to innovative and accept the constant change, and to learn more about and further ado about informational management. Right, to continue, further ado, moving on, let's go to the advantage and disadvantage of radiological information management. As you can see on the screen given, there is advantage and disadvantage. So in advantage, it increased the dynamic range. It is linear response of images, availability of post-processing function, easy to archive since images are in digital format, leads to the higher patient through and put separation of image capture processing, storage, and display processes, which means they can be optimized individually. And the disadvantage for the IM or the information management under radiological sciences, it has a poorer spatial resolution. It has an artifacts due to the image plate, image processing algorithms, and etc., and non-availability of post-processing function. Increased sensitive to scatter radiation, more expensive than screen film radiography, and lack of familiarity to the radiologist and radiographer. And of course, all of this is very understandable and easy to understood, right? So to make it short, the advantage is mabilis, easy ma-process, ma-send agad, even it is just a post-processing pa lamang, nasa digital pa lamang. And of course, mas higher ang kanyang, what we call this, higher ang time, hindi na waste ang time. And the other disadvantage, the opposite of that, is increase ang kanyang sensitivity radiation, poor ang kanyang resolution, and of course, it is more expensive. And the rest of it is somehow it is in the future na, and the oldest RedTech, and the not the oldest term but the yung mga dati nating radiographers or not familiar on the new generation ng computer system is lack ang kanilang familiarity about the system because they used to have the manual process before. But then again, it is really important to know the basic from manual to the digital. Alright. Okay, next is what is the benefits of radiological information management nowadays to the healthcare professional? Of course, all we know that this system is new and everyone is adjusting on it, but this is really a dynamic range that everyone could be acceptable nowadays. For of course, and for a while, oh, further ado, the importance and the benefits of the RIS or the Radiological Information Management nowadays is the following. It is good in the workflow management. The majority of radiologists agree with the PACS alone that cannot manage the rest of the workflow. Of course, with the patient scheduling and entry, the hospital information system manage the patient scheduling, entry, and registration. With the smartest RIS, which is the radiological information system, the hospital are using a single interface to handle patient related to the workflow and reduce the cost. Of course, it could also benefit to the healthcare practitioner, the booking and schedule. The IRS is extremely beneficial in cases where a clinical requests a single image service request. The system not only helps the group, the procedure using a single entry, but also provide a real-time visibility. Of course, this is a benefit and importance to report the distribution. The major feature of radiological information system is to report dissemination. The patient report is shared in a different ways, including the fax, email, and post. Also, the RIS system store physician data and the central database and keep the tracks of record when required, including here the benefits and the importance of having a RIS or radiological information system. Today, in the digitizing world, you can save a lot in comparison to the age of paper. Several errors occur when you manually do work with the RIS. Fewer errors occur and the information is recorded immediately. Documentation also is a benefit in the importance of this RIS. Nowadays, the majority of paperwork is related and replaced by electronic processes. The information of each patient is stored electronically and thus minimize the paperwork. Therefore, IT support also become a robust nowadays. Alright, course, in continuation, moving on, the clinical practitioner, the practical application of the RIS or the radiological sciences information management during the COVID pandemic. So the better of these studies or the better of this innovation is hindi na kailangan pumunta ni mga physician, ni radiologist sa hospital to have the reading or to have their interpretation. Better for everyone, especially sa mga worker natin na they could just access yung mga need nila through internet. Like they could have online check-up, they could have what we call this, a second copy through online. So the clinical practitioner application during this pandemic is very essential and applicable during this time because we all know that the pandemic is a really need for isolation, really need for a distance for everyone, that we avoid the crowd people. So the information management during the COVID pandemic is helpful and and innovation for everyone. Right? Further ado, let's move on. The academic practitioner. How can academic educator relate to telehealth, telemedicine, teleradiology in terms of delivering online education to the student? So as an academic teacher, I was I was notified and I observed this situation during the online teaching. It's really hard to impart with the students. Like they could have many what we call this, many attention to be many attention to be submitted to. So for example is pag nagtuturo tayo, even it is online, not everyone is listening and not everyone is in focus. Maybe they could meron silang ibang ginagawa kaya na out of focus sila. But in terms of telehealth, telemedicine, they are smart and they are what we call this advanced on it because millennial or generation Z nowadays are very good in terms of internet and they could really work with the telemedicine and teleradiology in terms on this situation. Further ado, thanks for watching and thank you everyone for watching my blog. Thank you, Sir Merchard Alonso. God bless everyone. Bye. Like and subscribe.